Yo, what's up guys? Sorry about the delay in videos. I've been busy. Very busy. Oh shit. Roll intro, fuck it. Yo, what's up guys, the Insane Game Freaking. We are going to talk about Hinata, NaruHina, NaruSaku, and all things pairing wars, because the movie kind of spoils the ending of the manga. Also, it spoils the ending of the manga in two different ways, also with the latest chapter. And next week is our last chapter. It's supposed to come out the 10th, but we all know that the scans will probably be up around like the 6th. The 6th, the 7th, around then anyway, so it doesn't really matter to that much. But the Naruto, the last movie, happens to mention its title and the premise behind it. And the premise and title behind it is, simply put, it's a Hinata-esque related movie. Now, the only reason why it would be a Hinata-esque related movie, and considering Hinata is one of the last characters to be shown off in terms of character designs for this movie, it even says, the tagline I think has something to do with love anyway, which for all intents and purposes almost borderline confirms NaruHina. On top of the fact that the movie's actually about Hinata's sister and Hinata. Well, it's about Hinata, but I know her sister gets captured too. But apparently the new villain is like a descendant of Kaguya, and it's like she's trying to capture Hinata for whatever reason, but ends up getting Hanabi. And eventually he captures Hinata too, from what I read in the description. And we got like a little clip, a little 15-second teaser. And apparently Kakashi's Hokage, and based on this chapter from earlier, what was it, yesterday? Yeah, yesterday or 2 days ago, we already know why Naruto has bandages around his arm. But anyways, this is more about the NaruHina NaruSaku thing, because for all intents and purposes, it's not like 100%, but it's about like 90% confirmed that NaruHina is canon. And I like Sawyer's prediction when he made his video on this, saying that the Naruto the last movie probably takes place between the chapter that just finished, and, well actually no, it probably takes place between chapter 699 and chapter 700, because I'm pretty sure what's gonna happen is we're gonna have kind of our final current time chapter, and then the next chapter will be like a pretty decent jump into the future after everything's changed and we have our respective Hokages and we get to see how everyone's doing, and then pretty much it ends. From Sawyer's video, he pretty much thinks that it's gonna take place in between 699 and 700. Which makes the most sense to me. But I want to kind of talk about the NaruHina NaruSaku thing, because you had a lot of NaruSaku fans tripping the fuck out, because it pretty much, this is almost 100% confirmation that it deconfirms NaruSaku. Now, here's my thing, and I want people, because if people know I like NaruHina more than NaruSaku, people need to understand. You say that you've lost, supposedly, that if the NaruHina thing is true and he ends up with Hinata in the final chapter, you may have said you've lost, but I feel like you don't really understand the problem with both of these pairings in Naruto, and the issues with these pairings in general, which was the problem, which is why, even though as a NaruHina fan I'm happy about it, I'm not that happy about it. Particularly because he doesn't develop. To me, the fact that there's a movie even based around the concept of this proves the problem with the damn pairing in the first place. He didn't fucking develop it. So the fucking planning, so the movie to me is a cop-out to justify the romance. Because realistically, I think anybody can admit to you, neither one of their romances were written well. The only thing that gives Sakura more credibility is because Sakura went through some sense of a growth and you could see a change in her. The problem is, I never understood why Naruto was into her in the first place. It's kind of like how I don't understand, it's kind of like how people say Naruto isn't into Sakura. I mean, isn't into Hinata. Like, Naruto has no reason to be interested in Hinata. It's almost the same reason for why I don't understand why Naruto was into Sakura. I still don't understand why Naruto's into Sakura. Because Sakura is literally a physical, part one anyway, she was a physical representation of of the people in the village who shunned him. She wasn't different from anybody else. She had that same condescending, I'm better than you attitude, called him a loser, just dissed him the fuck out. But for whatever reason, he liked her. And see, if it was just a crush, that'd be one thing. But as she grew as a character, his reasons never became clear for liking her. Because he liked her from jump. And I'm like, well, what's the difference? Like, seriously, what's the difference? Like, what do you like about her? And I still don't know what Naruto likes about Sakura. Like, dead ass. But the reason why I say NaruSaku fans really shouldn't get too upset about this, particularly because even though NaruHina may be the pairing that is canon, which pairing got the most time devoted to it? Exactly. But for all intents and purposes, NaruSaku got a lot more screen time than NaruHina. And as I said, even though I like NaruHina, don't get it twisted. It is a badly written relationship. It's a bad. Hinata in herself is I don't think is a horrible character, but she is given poor ass writing to the extent in which Hinata only becomes relevant when a pairing related issue comes up, which is honestly I think the only redeeming factor for her. It put her above them purely because she had shipping priority. That was it. That's the only thing that saves Hinata. It's not a well-written romance. Like, neither one of them are well-written romances. So like when it's like, yeah, as a NaruHina fan, I might be hyped, but I'm not gonna fucking be like, yeah, it was the best romance ever, because I know it's a one-sided romance. If this movie is probably going to be used to justify Naruto liking Hinata, because it doesn't technically make sense, considering he has not shown any level. Well, he kind of showed interest in part one, but like there was no hardcore level of interest towards Hinata to the point in which you can mistake that as a crush. And that was the fucking problem. So yeah, you could sit there and say that, oh well, NaruSaku makes more sense. No, it just had more time to change, and because Sakura grew as a character, it made that one feel a little bit more legit versus Hinata, where Hinata didn't even get a chance to shine. This is what pisses me off, and I don't want to get into a full-blown rant, but I'm just going to go into this, and I'll probably go into more detail when the final chapters come out. This is the thing that pisses me off about Shippuden. Shippuden had a lot of instances to just develop its characters, and to be honest with you, the crush revolving around Hinata would have been pushed a lot more if you had gave her and her fucking team more goddamn of a push. Like, that's why people don't really mind the part one filler near the end of the original Naruto, because that at least showed off the other characters. Instead of with Shippuden, where we got that in filler, but like in terms of the actual manga, they did like jack shit all. And I'm just kind of like, well, if you want to make, it's like Kishimoto didn't know which pairing he was going to go with, and he finally made the decision, and now he has to make a movie based around that decision to justify his fucking decision. Because we all can say, Hinata x Naruto is not a well-developed romance. It's not even they're not even well-developed characters. I already have my issues in character development with Naruto, so it's like NaruHina, I'm like, there's only so level of excitement I can be for that. I still think Hinata fits him better as a character versus Sakura, because Sakura, even though is supportive, doesn't really balance him out. The one thing I always like, because people need to understand, the reason why I like NaruHina is simple, because Hinata works as a counter for Naruto. I think they'll put it this way, in all of Naruto's low moments, what the fuck has Sakura done to help him get back on his feet? Like, jackass. Dead ass. What has she done to uplift him in any of the situations? I think the best she was is when he first lost to Sasuke. That was the best she was. Every other situation, she didn't add in anything to him. It was either another character or they used fucking Hinata. Hinata fucking has, in terms of emotional support, has supported Naruto like 3 fucking different times. And obviously she's been supporting him in the background since the beginning of the series. And see, that was my thing. It's like, Sakura has more developed than Hinata, but Hinata wasn't a flawed character in terms of personality traits, except for the fact that she was too quiet and she wasn't confident enough. With Shippuden, she seems more confident, but the problem with Shippuden is, Shippuden didn't fucking really focus on her character much, so we couldn't see that much of her growth. which is kind of the problem with all the fucking rookie characters, is that what Kishimoto decided to do was say that they grown but didn't show it. He decided to tell us that they grew instead of showing it to us, and then they would randomly pull out power-ups. Like, for example, Hinata technically can use 8 trigram 64 palms, and she can also use the twin lion shit. The problem is, the 2 times you get to see her use some of these abilities, she's getting her ass kicked in the same goddamn fight. So it's kind of hard to tell that there's a sense of progression. Plus, it's been 2 years, so you expect her to grow somewhat, just on base of time has passed, you've had time to do some other shit, do the other shit. And so it's like when NaruSaku fans are, you know, raging and losing their minds because NaruSaku isn't a canon pairing, look, realistically, you can still look at NaruSaku and see the progression. It's not like a legit progression because it's a one-sided situation. Sakura's the one growing and changing, whereas Naruto isn't, in terms of the girls he's with anyway. Naruto's not growing and changing in terms of with Sakura. Sakura has not added anything to his character. Whereas Hinata's either added a balance or giving him a reason to go as hard as he can. Because Hinata represents what Naruto used to be. Hinata's kind of like a slower, she's kind of like Konohamaru in a sense. She's like a slower paced Naruto. And see, that's what I hate it. It's like you could have had Hinata come out of her shell. You could have developed Hinata. If you're going to make her the canon pairing, I'm more pissed at the screen time you didn't give that character. Granted, I'm more pissed, Shippuden as a whole, I'm pissed at the fact that they didn't give any of those characters character. But it inherently bothers me now that it's like, it's almost 100% confirmed that this is the canon pairing, and you realize that the female that he ends up with is like one of the better females of the series, but considering most of the females don't get any development, that's not fucking saying much. So it's like, yeah, Hinata's the canon pairing with Naruto, and you have like maybe 3 or 4 moments that you can really pull from with Hinata that can really show it off, which almost everybody knows what they are. It's the fucking, it's after Neji dies speech, the I love you confession, and maybe the stuff right before the Neji fight. Maybe the Neji fight related stuff in part 1. Those are the only 3 things I can think of off the top of my head that have any major fucking importance. And this is the fucking waifu of the main goddamn character, and that's the best we get. So yeah, it's like, cool, Hinata's the fucking canon pairing, but it's kind of hard to be excited and happy about it when you realize how lackluster her character is, mainly due to bad writing. It's like, why even put a romance interest in here in the first place when you weren't even going to flesh it out? Like, NaruSaku would have made me mad, but I wouldn't, but at least I could say NaruSaku had some sense of build-up. Sakura had some sense of, I would have still said it's badly written, but at least I could probably tolerate it more if I like Sakura as a character. And granted, I'm still going to say that I don't like Sakura as a fucking character. She's just an annoying, she's better, but she's still not an enjoyable character to watch. I never look forward to seeing her. Ever. Ever. Because she's always on the same shit. And see, that's part of the reasons why I don't care for NaruSaku. To me, if you're going to be in a relationship, and maybe this is just my definition of relationship, I just want to explain this. The reason why I rep Hinata harder than I will ever rep Sakura is because to me, Hinata balances Naruto out. Hinata is that support Naruto needs, whereas Sakura to me always came off as a goddamn hindrance or unnecessary as fuck. Because the only thing she adds to Naruto's character is maybe a best friend type of vibe that I got at the beginning of Shippuden. That was the best I got out of her. That was the best I got out of her. At her worst, she just ends up being another fucking reason why Naruto needs to do what he needs to do. And I'm just like, he doesn't need another fucking reason, as if he didn't have enough reasons to save Sasuke. Yeah, that's at the fact that the girl who's in love with you, that's the other problem I had. The girl obviously isn't into you. You know the girl isn't into you. You view the guy she is into you as your best friend, and you still want to get with her. And also, it just then pisses me off. It's even with like the little small NaruSaku moments, like, is this your girlfriend? I guess so. Apparently not, because Kishimoto said you're with the fucking girl with the Hyuga clan. We're gonna have some Uzumaki Hyuga clan bitches. now. So I'm just kind of like, what was the point of those scenes? Because you can tell, and for those who need to know, you can tell he did not plan that relationship. Granted, it's a shonen, it really wasn't focused on the romance anyway. But just understand that, yeah, Hinata might be the canon pairing, but you guys at least have a lot more clips you can fucking splice together and say, ooh, this was nice. Whereas half of Hinata AMVs are from fucking filler. Like the one scene people like to draw from all the time from part 1 is when she first does the 8 trigram 64 palms, but it's in a fucking filler about bees. That is her shining fucking achievement. God damn it. Like, it's cool, and I'm happy because I think that's the one he should have ended up with. But I'm mad because I feel like the character got dogged out and was only really pulled because he was just like, it was like to me it feels like a last minute decision. It's like he couldn't make up his mind from the get-go, so he kind of just had both of them floating around, and then he kind of just pulled it when he was in a particular mood. He was like, fuck, I feel like using Hinata. Confession. Fuck, I don't want Sakura to see my balance. Confession. Fuck. Let's kill Neji and have Hinata have a moment. And that's actually the funny thing about Neji's death. I feel like Neji's death was meant for Hinata. I feel like Neji died for the sake of Hinata having a moment with Naruto. That's actually my opinion. I think that he literally killed off a character for the sake of Hinata. And I'm like, bruh, that's fucking insane. Like, that's horrible writing when you have to kill another character just to justify using another character. God damn it. It's like, they're like, we gotta kill somebody. Who we gonna kill? Let's kill fucking Neji, because we need Hinata to have a moment. And that just pisses me off. It's like, I like the moment, I like the speech she gives, I like what she says, I just don't like the fact that we had to kill another character off just to get to this point. To me, when you have to fucking murder a character to justify a speech, that probably means that you didn't know how to fucking write that moment, period. You found the quickest way to handle a situation. Let's murder this motherfucker to get a goddamn speech. So as I say, NaruSaku fans might be mad that their pairing isn't canon, but as I said, at least yours didn't feel as. I kind of would argue that Hinata's feels forced for the sake of Hinata, not necessarily for Naruto. Because we already know why Hinata likes Naruto, and it's a legitimate reason. She relates to Naruto. She likes Naruto because Naruto is an inspiration, and she always had Naruto's back. But you didn't develop her to make her at least a little bit more of an outgoing character, like the character who would stand up for Naruto. I just want to kind of express my opinions and feelings on NaruHina and NaruSaku. Why, even though I'm happy about NaruHina, I'm not as happy because I know that it could have been a lot fucking better. And NaruSaku fans, I'm not really rubbing it in your face because your character at least has some sense of growth. And it's not that Hinata didn't have the potential for it. He didn't want to fucking write anything for it to change. Which was bullshit. Don't get us attached to a character and then like not use them. Which is what he did for like Choji. And yeah, he did specifically for Choji, who only had like maybe 2 goddamn noteworthy moments. Shikamaru had a few. Kiba became fucking irrelevant. Pretty much Hinata's team, Neji's team for the most part, except for maybe Neji or Lee. Just, whatever. But I'm not going to get into that. I'll get into that full discussion at the end. But for right now, that's all I got to say. So please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. This has been the Insane Game Freak. Life's a game. Play to win. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace all.